Eric Killmonger is quickly becoming a fan favorite, and it's easy to see why. Like many of the other well-crafted villains we've encountered in comics, he's a bad guy who has a point. The philosophies behind his actions are almost justified, except for, hurting people and breaking laws and trying to usurp the throne of Wakanda. Not entirely things you'd classify under good. All that being said, we still adore Killmonger, so that's why we've put together a list highlighting some tidbits about the character that you may or may not have known. Here is our list of the top 10 Eric Killmonger shocking facts. And at 10, his origins. The Black Panther film slightly tweaks Killmonger's origins. The character, initially from Wakanda, is the son of a man who aided Ulysses Klaue in trying to evade the nation. Because of this, he was exiled, and Eric grew up in Harlem, New York, experiencing a very different kind of upbringing that would largely inform his ambitions as an adult. In the film, director Ryan Coogler changed his origin in order to become more relevant to the socio-political state of our own world. He's from Oakland, California instead of Harlem. And at number 9, adaptations. Prior to the Black Panther film, Killmonger has oddly never appeared in any other adaptation except for a handful of video games, specifically LEGO Marvel's Avengers in the Black Panther DLC, LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2, Marvel Future Fight, and Marvel Contest of Champions, which is kind of odd considering his importance in the Black Panther canon. Although considering the success of the character and the rave reviews Michael B. Jordan's performance has gotten, it wouldn't be much of a surprise if Killmonger started popping up all over the Marvel universe. And at number 8, Madame Slay. While Madame Slay may appear to have one of the best villainess names ever, her list of positive credentials pretty much ends there. But Killmonger seems to think the contrary. He and Madame Slay were a romantic item for quite some time. Madame Slay is a Black Panther villain who has the ability to control and command leopards, not through a superpower but through expertise and training. Aside from being lovers, she worked with Killmonger as an ally, with both of them sharing a similar view and dislike of T'Challa and how he was running their nation. And at number 7, he created White Tiger, sort of. So backtracking a bit here, there's been a few people who over the years have held the mantle of Black Panther. One of the lesser acknowledged ones is Casper Cole, aka the White Tiger, a character who T'Challa first encountered after he went into exile and spent some time in Harlem. Casper was a cop who he befriended, and since T'Challa was retired from being Black Panther, he gave him his suit and title. Cole eventually wanted to become a legitimate Black Panther, which can only be achieved by going through the ritual in Wakanda, but in order to do so, he'd have to fight Killmonger in ritual combat. Killmonger decided to manipulate the situation to his advantage. He gave Cole a synthetic heart-shaped herb, and in return, Cole would be one of his loyal followers. Cole said yes and became the White Tiger, and he eventually fulfilled his debt to Killmonger by helping him track down a boy he was looking for. Later on, Cole would move back to New York and join the inner-city superhero team, The Crew. And at 6, his name. Eric Killmonger isn't actually this villain's true name. It's N'Jotka, but his name was changed to Eric Killmonger once his family was exiled and forced to move to the US. The film takes it a step further. The character's name is changed to Eric Stevens, with Killmonger originating as his nickname from a time that he was in the Black Ops, due to his efficiency as a soldier. And at 5, a few friends. Killmonger has got quite the arsenal of allies, but a few in particular have stood out over the years, including his pet leopard Prey, spelt with 2 Y's, who occasionally aids him in battle. Killmonger is a man of many talents too, and is no stranger to the mystical like his primary foe, T'Challa. Throughout the comics, Killmonger becomes quite acquainted with the Ultra Resurrection. As we'll mention later on, he's been killed off and resurrected a few times, but aside from that, he's used the powers of the Ultra to do his own bidding, including creating his own army of zombie-like warriors known as the Death Regiment. Killmonger's other allies in the comics have also been shaped by the Ultra. Another villain known as King Cadaver was a Wakandan man who joined Killmonger's quest to usurp the throne, and was exposed to radiation from the Ultra, which turned him into a deformed green creature with powers of his own. And at number 4, Deadpool. Many other characters in the Marvel Universe have encountered Killmonger, including the Merc with a Mouth, Deadpool. Deadpool was actually supposed to assassinate him. In one story arc, Akabi, another well-known Black Panther villain who has been called the Joker to Panther's Batman, hired Deadpool to kill Eric, who at the time was the king of Wakanda and therefore the current Black Panther. This order of assassination was to get him out of the way, so that T'Challa could reclaim the title. Similar to the Joker, Akabe is obsessed with creating chaos, and obsessed with T'Challa, ever since T'Challa stood in his way of spreading war across his home country. Anyway, this naturally led to a confrontation between Deadpool and Killmonger, and it was exactly the kind of encounter you'd want it to be. And at number 3, killed by an orphan. As we mentioned, Killmonger has been killed a few times in the comics, but one specific instance was pretty memorable. During one of his more famous encounters with T'Challa, Killmonger was about to defeat the hero when their battle was intervened by a small orphan, a boy named Kantu who had lost everything because of Killmonger's war on Wakanda. He surprised Killmonger during the battle and knocked him off of a waterfall, killing him. In our number 2 spot, he's been a Black Panther. One of the reasons why Killmonger is such a great villain is because he's actually been successful. In Black Panther Volume 3, the character returns from the dead and challenges T'Challa to the leadership ritual combat. He defeats him and becomes the king for a reign that actually lasted a decent amount of time. He even even tried to join the Avengers in T'Challa's place. Although it is worth noting that the heart-shaped herb rejected him. He had a reaction to it upon consuming it, revealing that the herb is poisonous to anyone who is not part of the royal bloodline. But of course, Killmonger found a way around that too. And finally, in our number 1 spot, T'Challa has never beaten him one-on-one. So in pretty much every encounter Killmonger has had with T'Challa where it's been one-on-one, Killmonger, whose powers practically equal that of Black Panther's, has won, and almost cost T'Challa his life numerous times. The first was when he tried to overthrow Wakanda, with that ending in the iconic panel of Killmonger throwing Black Panther over a waterfall. The second time they fought on a similar scale, Killmonger pretty much won again, but was killed thanks to that orphan in her number 3 spot. It happened again a third and fourth time as well, with the latter time involving Monica Rambeau intervening. That being said, T'Challa has defeated him numerous times, but always because of the help of his allies. The last time Killmonger was seen in the comics, as of this recording, was in 2008 when T'Challa defeated him after Killmonger had orchestrated a war between Wakanda and Naganda, a nation he had invaded and conquered right next door. But he was seemingly killed off yet again. Alright, there we have it, friends. Have you seen Black Panther yet? Are you all fans of Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger? Let us know your thoughts in those comments below. If you dug this video, please hit those like and subscribe buttons and spread the love by sharing it with a friend. If you'd like to see more videos on Black Panther, don't hesitate to check out our channel. We have a playlist flashing on your screen right now. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I've been Kelly Pally and this has been Top 10 Nerd. Catch you all in the next one.